see so many women that they're brilliant, but their content is still not good. Nobody's buying into them because the way they're communicating them is still weak, soft, and unpowerful. Confidence actually doesn't mean clarity. There is this gray area of what is you being self-expressed and you actually saying what you truly want to say online that represents your knowledge, your authority, that actually shows people that you can help them, but then you don't have the clarity and the messaging to actually say that online. This is literally what I'm teaching on the Chosen Masterclass. If you're seeing this after December 17th, we're going to have this masterclass for you to watch it, because I truly believe that this is so important while you're building your brand. Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Ati Grinspun. I'm a personal branding coach and business strategy, and I help you, coaches and service providers, figure it out what to post, what to do on and off social media so you can consistently get clients and grow your business. Welcome businesses to another episode of the Be Brand podcast, and today I was journaling on this concept that I wanted to bring to you, and is why confident in person actually doesn't mean confident online. If you have been following my content the last few days, the last few weeks, even the last episode, I've been talking a lot about the feeling of being chosen, the chosen woman energy. And the chosen woman energy, yes, is being chosen by your clients, is being chosen by people that want you to come speak. It's your brand. But the reality is that the chosen woman energy starts with you. And one of the things that I notice a lot with women that they are already seeing some success, and I want to share this publicly. This started by me observing me. And this started with me being actually called forward by some of my mentors, right? If you have met me in person or if you have come to Be Brand Live, I know that my energy in person speaks so much louder and powerful and what people feel than what actually has been looking like online in the last few years. And one of the things that I've noticed is this in my clients, and this is not an income level issue. This is a if you want to go the next level issue, because you can see some success even if you are doing this. But every time that you want to go to the next level, every time that you have a new truth, you have evolved, this starts showing up again. Confidence actually doesn't mean clarity. There is this gray area, right, of what is you being self-expressed and you actually saying what you truly want to say online that represents your knowledge, that represents your authority, that actually shows people that you can help them, but then you don't have the clarity and the messaging to actually say that online. So there is so many layers of this, and I kind of wanted to break them down for you, because this is literally what I'm teaching this Wednesday on the Chosen Masterclass. And if you're seeing this after December 17th, we're going to have this masterclass for you to watch it, because I truly believe that this is so important while you're building your brand. So confidence doesn't mean clarity. If you're already seeing some success, if you are like, okay, when I do things in person, when I network, or when I go on a podcast, I am so eloquent. I am saying what I want to say. But then when I want to create my own content episodes or whatever, it's not coming across. This is probably what is happening. So social media and content in general, right? Social media, recording a podcast, going to speak, even going networking, can bring up all these layers of insecurity, regardless of how amazing you are at what you do. Some of these are unprocessed emotions. Some of these are traumas and fears that we bring from how we grew up. I always tell the story, right? Like, my mom used to roll her eyes at me all the time when I would say something. She would dismiss a lot of the things and opinions that I had. Now, this is nothing against her. We all grew up with parents that they had their own fucking shit, right? So this is not about throwing her under the bus, but this is about how we internalized a lot of the things. Now, I want to give you these kind of like thought around this, because a lot of us have a lot of big trauma to uncover, and the place to uncover those are either in therapy or in a different environment. But there is so many things that we can do on our own to actually go in this self-discovery journey that actually will make such a huge difference in your content, in how you show up. And self-awareness is the first step for you to actually be able to look at your content and say, okay, but this is diluted. And if you cannot do this yourself, having a mentor that actually can catch that for you is the best investment you can ever do. Because if you're social media, you're posting and you sound convincing, and I'm going to tell you, I call out so many of my clients on this, and they have no idea that they're doing it. And I have been called my own mentor on this. So what I want you to grasp from here is that you can be super confident about your skills, but if you are shaking and wavering in how you put this online, your content is not going to convert. And it's painful because I see so many women that they're brilliant, but their content is still not good. And they are thinking that they're not good at being an entrepreneur, or that they're not cut out for this, or that they have these huge ideas that they can change the world, but nobody's buying into them. And nobody's buying into them because the way they're communicating them is still weak, soft, and unpowerful. One of the things that I want you to understand is that your content, when underexpressed, it's literally building your brand around that. So I want you to think the way you buy, okay? The way you buy something. You buy because you feel activated. You buy because you see a different future for yourself in whatever it is that you're buying. And we do this from buying vitamins, which I have my vitamins right here, to hiring a coach. If you are trying to convince people to buy into your vision, you are not painting the future. I want to break this down for you. My chosen method framework, we always start, and this is what I want to discuss today, by claiming your voice. So one of the things that I tell people is look at your content, right? Look at your content the last 7 days, the last 10 days, the last 6 months. Are you really showing people where is the gap, how you can fix it, or how you can help them? And are you painting the picture for them of what it's going to look like on the other side, and doing all of that without apologizing? Really saying what you want to say. Because one of the things that I started doing was actually listening to my own calls when I'm coaching people. And when I coach people, I am not a fluffy coach. I tell people what they need to hear, and usually it's shocking. And I say it with love. I say it with respect. I bring it up. I am trauma informed, so I know exactly how to say it, but I say things like they are. So when I started listening back to the podcast, listening back to some of the head to camera reels that I was making, to some of the content I was putting out there, it was fucking diluted. Now, this is the gap that I want you to understand. When you are diluting, the version of you that is showing up is the version that is scared, is the version that feels she's going to be judged. She is going to be called out for saying something wrong. She is expecting to be burned at the stake. So I wanted to give you a very specific example of this. I shared with you a few minutes earlier that my mom used to roll her eyes, right, at me. And I have memories of these throughout my whole life. That is the version of me that was showing up every time that I wanted to say what I truly wanted to say. This is why it's so important for you to do this kind of self-discovery work. And a lot of the times when I share this with people, they're like, okay, but I don't even know what that work looks like, because you may not necessarily need to go to do therapy to discover this. You actually, if you have awareness, if you can look at your content and you can call yourself out, and you have a mentor that can call you out too, then voila, right? So I want to show you 4 things. Number 1 is saying, and I'm looking at my notes because I don't want to forget anything. 1 is saying what you actually mean. I see so many women online, they start rambling, and saying what you actually mean, it starts with practicing. You're not going to go from 0 to 1,000 in the first post. So this is where a lot of women quit. This is where a lot of women, they do one post, or they do one post that is really fucking good, and then the next post, they go back because maybe it didn't get traction. Maybe you didn't feel met, right? So I want you to understand that saying what you mean may need tweaking. Again, this is all messaging, and this is all also like you testing how things are landing. And what happens is when you are creating content, you put it out there, either in Instagram, on Facebook, on a newsletter, and it's not resonating, all of a sudden you retract. And the problem with that is you not choosing you. Is you choosing the version of you that keeps hiding, right? The second one is stopping the softening. I want to give you an example. I was coaching somebody a few days ago on this, and we talked about her following up with her clients that she had called throughout the years, right? This was a cash injection strategy that I teach at the end of the year. And she was like, well, what do I do? Do I tell them, hey, I'm just checking in? And I was like, but that's beating around the bush. You are an authority and you are a business. And while you want to show up human, and we are personal brands and we are doing business as humans, you telling people, hi, I just wanted to check in and see how you're doing, that is actually beating around the bush, and is you softening your power, your authority, all of that. Now, this doesn't mean you cannot actually check in with people, but you have to understand what is the intention behind it and own that fucking shit, okay? And then on top of that, actually learning how to follow up properly. We're not going to go into that right now because that's more strategy, but I want you to understand, where are you beating around the bush instead of really coming up powerfully for your clients and claiming the fact that you can actually help them, okay? The other one is speaking from truth instead of approval. And I'm thinking of a particular client here, and I want to give you the example. I have a client of mine. She's so amazing at what she does. She has so much knowledge. She is a therapist who also is a coach. And every time I see her content, I'm like, it's wasted potential. It's wasted potential because her content is so soft. While she's soft when she talks, her concepts are not soft. She has all this knowledge and she just keeps watering herself because she wants to create content. I can see it all over her content. She is posting for approval instead of posting from a place of, hey, this is what you're struggling with, and until you do X, Y, and Z, ain't gonna fucking change. Because the truth is, you guys, you gals, that people are bombarded with information. People are bombarded with options, but we all pay attention when something speaks to our heart, when it spears to our heart. And this is what most of you are not doing. I want you to do with this because I wanted to share these from my own experience, because I have been experiencing these in the last few years. And I have been working on myself on these like prompts or journey, and to really come to my audience with this truth that I know they need, but from a place that they can actually consume them and they can actually see themselves in it and feel called forward. Because at the end of the day, if you don't jump in my world and you don't become my client in some kind of way, it doesn't matter if you buy something for $7, $33, or $3,000. But if you don't work with your clients, that you can't help them. I want you to sit with this prompt and I want you to use it the next time you create content. And it would be amazing if it's today, because the more you let this go, the more you soften, right? And you should be writing every single day. You should be practicing. You should be speaking to the camera. You should be really creating some form of content every single day. That doesn't mean that you're creating in Canva. That means, how are you talking to your audience and bringing people in so you can change their fucking life? Okay. Okay, so here's the prompt, just one prompt. Also, just so you know, this is available in my Chosen Woman Toolkit, which is in the show notes, because, girl, this is a daily work. This is not something that you're gonna do once and you're gonna become amazing at. It just doesn't work that way. So the prompt is, where in this post am I softening the blow? Where in this post am I softening the blow? So I want you to go to your last 7 posts on your Instagram, and I want you to be real with yourself. What did you want it to say? What did you want your audience to learn, or actually have a belief shift, or to have a realization, or to bring them to that awareness of what is really happening to them? What was your intention behind the post? And where did you soften the blow? Where did you hide? What did you want to truly say and you didn't? And when you start doing this, I want you to redo that post, same topic, but I want you to say the one thing that actually makes you so fucking uncomfortable. That is your edge. That is how you choose yourself, and you allow others to choose you, and you allow others to see you, to feel truly your message. I want to hear from you how this go. And I want to hear from you. Do you feel like you are watering yourself? Do you have the awareness of this? Or are you just thinking of this when I am bringing it up? Or has this been something that you've been thinking about, but you're putting on the back burner? I love you, and I'll see you soon.